All right, folks, today we will be asking the question, will Bitcoin hit 50,000 before we get these ETFs approved, or maybe just sometime this month in January? That's how I'm going to lay down the question here today. Will Bitcoin hit 50K this month or in the run up here to the Bitcoin spot ETF approvals? We're expecting them to come in maybe this week, but definitely supposed to be getting answers by next week. By the 10th of January, we either get to know if they're approved, delayed, or denied. You guys know that I've been saying this is a buy the rumor, sell the news event, regardless of what the outcome is. Let me know in the comments down below, though, if we can run up to 50,000 in the meantime. Bitcoin just broke through 45,000 here within the last 24, 48 hours, and we're seeing that it kind of hung out sideways yesterday. It's going to be interesting to see if this thing can push all the way up to that 50K region before the ETF gets approved, or, kind of around that announcement. Maybe it does get approved and we get that final blow off top here before we get a correction, which I believe is coming back in here rather quickly. Let's get right on into the update, though, and then we'll take a look at the charts. Starting off here, the first day trading here in the new year was just yesterday, and the volatility index, also called the VIX, is up 14% to kick off the first trading day of 2024. This puts the VIX on tracks for its biggest daily jump since October 13th, all as oil prices jump. The 10-year note yield nears 4% again, and the Dow is down 200 points. So to start off the year here, a little bit of volatility coming in, stock market down, and we see oil back up. Interest rate cut futures have also scaled back slightly, but still show 6 rate cuts in 2024. It's going to be an interesting year in the market. Did the Fed pivot hopes move too fast? And now you're starting to see the articles come out, are we going to get a pause, right? They don't want to say that we're going to get a correction. Now they're just willing to say that maybe we'll get a pause. Excuse me. So we'll see about that. In the meantime, though, we look at what this markup is made up of. Overvalued stocks, and they've gone heavy into tech. And now we see this, that the aggregate weight of Apple and Microsoft in the S&P 500 index is now larger than the 4 sectors combined, and 70 times greater than the entire metals and mining industry. This level of dominance by 2 companies is unprecedented. More importantly, being a significant portion of the market can be extremely or incredibly positive on the way up, yet it can also amplify the downward pressure when the market is headed lower. So we had the greatest of parties, but we're about to have the worst of hangovers. That's what is about to happen to our stock market. And I'm warning, I think that we got something similar happen to crypto as well, which is going to be a buying opportunity that our community is prepared for. Now, something else that we were prepared for was to see the Epstein client list, but we got the news late last night that the court has just announced that the full Epstein client list will not be released until at least January 22nd, following the approval of Doe 107's request for a 30-day extension. That's a Doe 107. Interesting. Who do you think that Doe 107 could be? Who is supposedly living in another country? Okay. Very, very interesting to see that. We are prepared. We are waiting. Will we ever get to see it? Will we ever know? Will there ever be accountability? And one point that I will make before we move on is, isn't it interesting how nobody in Hollywood, none of the actors, nobody's like calling or demanding that this gets released? Isn't that interesting? The silence is deafening from those who won't dare mention this story, will they? Uh-oh. Now, good news. Positive news here today, actually coming out here from Starlink and Elon Musk. First launch of Starlink direct-to-phone satellites. Now, they are partnering up with T-Mobile, and what they're doing now, as they've been doing with their Starlink satellites where they're beaming down internet all over the place, now they're beaming them direct to phone, satellite to phone. So instead of having to go to a cell tower, you're just going to be straight up into the low Earth orbit satellites that Starlink has, flying around us. And this is very exciting because you think of, we've been talking about going to a quantum financial system, how everybody's going to get connected and tapped in. You're finally starting to really see this happen. Whether you love him, whether you hate him, Elon Musk and what he's doing there. You got Starlink, they're doing deals. They're trying to send stuff out of space and struggling, but they can get these low Earth orbit satellites floating up there that have been able to beam down the internet to many people in rural areas. And now they're looking at beaming them down to phones as well. And this technology works in a way that it's going to work directly with your existing phone. You don't have to have a quote unquote satellite phone or any new tech. So very, very interesting. And the ramifications for crypto, obviously massive. As you know, we're talking about 1 billion people on the planet that are not just underbanked, but are completely unbanked. It's not that they're underserviced. They're not getting service at all. Now, just getting them internet, this is the start. This is the start of what makes a better world and how this technology can actually be used to better humanity. This is what I'm here for. Now, let's get into our crypto update. I asked the question, will Bitcoin hit 50,000 this month, or, in and around, maybe before this Bitcoin spot approval? Sometime in the next week, we might even do it. Just broke above 45K, looking fantastic. The narrative is hot. The hype is abound. And also a lot of fake news is out there too. A lot of misinformation, just straight up lies that the approval's already in. And this is a warning signal for folks like us that see through these narratives from BlackRock's and the Wall Street boys and girls who are now ready to get into crypto. After they've crapped on it for years, now they're ready to get in, now that they're going to control it. Now that they get to collect fees when you trade in and out of it. The mainstream media is essentially urging retail to go all in on Bitcoin due to rumors of a Bitcoin ETF. This one from Whale Wire. Let's say hypothetically that an ETF was approved later today. It would be catastrophic for BTC. Just look at what happened when corrupt Wall Street launched futures in December of 2017. Now, you can recall CFTC chairman saying and bragging about how they popped the Bitcoin bubble in December of 2017 when they launched the futures. Right at the top of the market, that's exactly when they launched these futures. And you can see what happened after 2017, right? We begun the bear market. Also, watch what they do, not what they say. Does this sound like they're bullish to you? Jim Cramer flipping bullish. Saylor dumping all his MicroStrategy shares, thus decreasing his exposure to BTC. Grayscale CEO abruptly resigning before ETF deadlines, and Cathie Woods dumps all of her Bitcoin holdings, etc. Now, Cathie did pick up some other ones. She dumped her current she dumped her current fund so that she could pick up one of the others. So I still think that she's all in. I don't think that, these are all bearish things, although Jim Cramer did say that you can't kill Bitcoin. And I got a video dropping later on that. I'm going to show you guys the clip and share my thoughts on that. Effectively, Bitcoin is dead. If Jim Cramer is saying that you can't kill Bitcoin, it's already dead. So rest in peace to Bitcoin. But in the meantime, folks, this is what we're talking about. This is interesting to watch. New SEC filings show that Michael Saylor will dump over $216 million worth of MicroStrategy shares, making it his largest sell in history. So there are folks that are using this narrative, this price action. And I mean, his, Bitcoin is sitting at a massive profit, and he's using this opportunity to dump the largest sale of his shares ever. So we got to watch what they do, not what they say. Now, let's see what this XRP Bitcoin chart is doing before we take a look at the Bitcoin chart. This one here from Crypto Insight UK. He says, if you're an XRP holder, this is the chart you should be paying attention to. XRP versus Bitcoin. On the last two occasions where XRP has reached the gray zone versus BTC, and at the same time the weekly RSI has hit around 33, this has been the bottom for the pairing. From the previous two occasions, we could suggest XRP may see a 100% rise versus BTC. I'd love to see that. However, there are occasions where XRP has fallen further versus BTC, so this is not a definite signal. On those occasions when XRP has found its bottom versus BTC, we have seen explosive price action in this pairing. I personally do not expect that we see a breakout of this XRP versus BTC range unless Bitcoin spikes hard on the ETF news and liquidity floods into the market. If that happens, then strap in. Well, we've been strapped in. We are ready to go, brother. Crypto Insight UK, we appreciate the TA update. He says, if not, I feel we see an outperformance from alts very soon and maybe a pop in XRP. Maybe we start to see some of those altcoins go. And we've already seen a few of them. Absolutely. Remember, historically, XRP moves last and fast. If you see people getting upset with price action, the move is probably getting closer. And I know, just by reading my comments, I know that many people are frustrated with this price action for XRP. We will see. Are we ready to gain 100% against Bitcoin here? Going to be interesting to watch. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart, folks. Back above 45,000. Big move for Bitcoin to start off the new year. It was an incredible run up all through 2023. And you can see that we haven't been at this price level since spring of 2022, since March and April of 2022, when this thing started to fall back down. Now, we did trade at this range here between 38,000 and between 46.8. Let's just call it 38,000 and 47,000, give or take, right? We traded in there for a few weeks, absolutely, through the first part of 2022, but we have not been at this price level since spring of 2022. It's taken us 2 years to get back up to this level. And now we ask the question, can this thing pop off a little bit further, maybe push up towards 50K? We can see that we definitely found some resistance back in here at about that 50K, 51, and it did pop up to about 52K for a brief period. So that 50 to 52K range is where a lot of folks kind of expect this thing to maybe extend out to before we get some sort of correction. I firmly believe that this is a buy the rumor, sell the news event that we're in the middle of right now, and that we are going to get a big sell-off. You have to understand, even if the ETFs are approved, there's like a 60 or a 75-day waiting period before the trading even starts. So watch out for that. This is a moment right now that gets me excited because for some of these altcoins, I'm not happy with my position. I want to pick up a little bit more, or I've already picked out a couple new cryptos that I'm ready to add positions on. It's just that I'm not going to buy into the green candles that we've seen when I'm expecting a broader market pullback to come in, as I highlighted at the beginning of this episode, not just in cryptocurrencies, but also in the stocks too. Stocks, crypto, both risk on, both kind of correlated in the same regard. And so I'm going to be watching that closely here over the course of the next month. But that doesn't mean that Bitcoin can't go all the way up to about 50K, have itself a good time before it does roll over. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys see. If you appreciate our updates, make sure you like our content. And if you can share it out far and wide, that really helps us. Please just go to my website, zachrector.com, if you're looking to get tapped in with our community, or you're looking for any of our community resources, including wallets, exchanges, getting precious metals shipped to you, rolling over a 401k. We can get both done. We have XRP merch. We got our Patreon Discord community as well. It's all over at my website, zachrector.com, and I appreciate you guys for stopping by here today. I will see you guys in the next one. God bless you all.